Chad Daybell's murder trial moved quickly today as the beginning of week 6 saw testimony from 7 different witnesses. Chad Daybell is accused of murdering and conspiring to murder his first wife, Tammy, and his current wife, Lori Vallow Daybell's children, Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow. And our Morgan Romero has been following this case from the beginning for us. She joins us live here in studio. Morgan, what were your takeaways from court today?
Well, Joe, today mostly saw testimony from expert witnesses, and FBI tactical specialist Nicole Heidemann was back on the stand first thing this morning, going over sexual and romantic texts between Lori and Chad, while Chad's first wife, Tammy, was still alive. Chad, who's an author, was writing a story about characters named James and Elena, names he gave himself and Lori. Prosecutors argue that story resembled what played out in real life. FBI forensic anthropologist Dr. Angie Christensen then testified about analyzing Tylee's bones as jurors saw more photos of her remains. Christensen said many came broken and thermally damaged or damaged by heat, but she was able to determine Tylee had sharp force trauma. An FBI firearms and tool marks forensic examiner later told jurors that trauma was consistent with a stabbing action and a chopping action. He said he couldn't figure out what specific tools were used, though. A retired Idaho State Police forensic chemist told jurors he found gasoline on a sample of Tylee's remains. This morning, one of Tylee's best friends from Arizona also briefly took the stand.
Could you just briefly describe kind of what you observed about Tylee's relationship with JJ?
Almost maternal in the sense that she was always there to make sure he was cared for. First priority was making sure his well-being was always taken care of, and she would be next.
Prosecutors asked how often she saw Tylee's uncle Alex Cox. The friend said every 6 months or so. The state recalled Rexburg Police Detective Chuck Consitis, who choked up when showing where he found Tylee's remains on Chad's property. As we learned earlier in the trial, Tylee was found dismembered and burned. FBI Cellular Analysis Survey team member Nick Balance also returned to the stand. He testified earlier this trial. He went over texts between Lori, Alex, and Chad in the days leading up to Tammy's death. Cell phone data showed Alex was around the Salem Church near Chad's house on October 18th, 2019. Tammy died either that night or early the next morning. Testimony wrapped up quicker than prosecutors expected, so court ended early today. We expect the trial to last a total of 8 to 10 weeks, meaning it could go another 4 weeks, including a potential death penalty phase if he is convicted. Joe?